Oh, okay. Yay, we're recording. Okay, now I'm gonna screen share.
Sorry, my mouse died and I couldn't do anything, so I had to plug it in
Oh,
real
shoot.
fast.
Okay. Oh, no problem. No problem. I think we've got it now. Okay, yay. All right, let me see if I can figure out how to make this go. I know that there's a button you push. I'm sorry, you guys. I am me and slides. I just like I made them, but I don't know how I did it. Oh, let's see. I think this is it. Hold on. Did I do it? I did it. Okay, cool. All right. Well, I just want to first of all say hello and thank you for being here. I'm so glad that you could be here. And I'm so glad to be sharing with you tonight about the new products that were just released at convention this year. I was talking to some friends earlier today, and I was saying how I kind of feel like I get to play Santa in a way because, and it's really probably the most exciting class for me of each year because it's new stuff. And we always get so excited when that happens. So, so yeah, we're going to talk about all of these tonight, and I'm going to try really hard to keep it simple and not overwhelm you, but I can't make any promises. So here's a close-up view of the new releases in case you haven't seen it already, and we're going to do what we can to highlight a little bit of each tonight. My goal for all of us here is obviously to go over the new stuff, so you know what was just released, all the best highlights. And we're especially going to focus on the three parts of the Meta Power system. That's really important because it's a huge deal. It's the biggest launch of any in any network marketing history. So it's a really big deal. We want you to know what it is and why it works so well. And then the last little bit is I want to make sure that you feel like you have the resources in order to use it in your daily routine. Because learning about it's one thing, but being able to actually use it and have it help you to better your life is another, right? So we'll see what we can do. It's a lot to bite off, right? But here we go. So the first amazing essential oil that was released is called guaiac wood. And I don't know how many of you have had a chance to smell it yet, but it is, to me, it smells a little smoky. It kind of has this really interesting, almost like a barbecue aroma. It's distilled from hardwood of the Bolnesia sarmientoi tree. And it's closely related to Palo Santo, but it is not the same thing. I know natives, Emily Wright was talking about how natives have used it in ceremonies for centuries, and how its nickname is holy wood. So it's kind of interesting how it has a very special and spiritual nature. So holy wood is the nickname. doTERRA has been working on bringing this to us for over 5 years. So it wasn't just a quick thing. I remember Emily at convention was talking about how crazy it was just to get to the trees. Like they were literally going past jaguars, anacondas, and she said that she saw at least 60 crocodiles before they were able to actually get to where the trees are. So that was pretty interesting. And these are growing in Paraguay, by the way. It is found in this particular essential oil, this tree is only found in a tropical forest. And this particular forest, it's an impenetrable forest. So to me, that kind of reminded me a little bit of arbor vitae. So when you think about an impenetrable forest, and you think about what has to happen for that plant to be impenetrable, we're able to harvest that essential oil and use it for our body, which is such a beautiful gift. Has obviously, goes without saying, that it has a very uncommon chemical profile in order for it to be to survive. It has a 90% sesquiterpene chemical profile, which is really interesting. And I took this picture here because this was just like a little screenshot of a video that they played. And I don't know if you can tell that the lighting isn't super great, but when the wood is cut, it seeps this blue oil, and it's blue for a few hours and then it turns color. But I thought that was really interesting. what else do I want to say about it? The wood itself is extremely dense, and the oil that comes out is so thick that it actually becomes semi-solid at room temperature, which I thought was really interesting. And they actually have to, and that's thanks to the chemical constituency. So it's actually a good thing. So they keep it warm, and it sits for about 1 to 3 months to allow the aroma to mature and develop over time. So we have to be patient with this one, but it's definitely worth it. The last thing I want to say is that oh, that's the chemical profile. It is sustainably sourced, and it's in an area where a lot of the farmers there are desperate for money, and they are clearing away these trees to I can't remember what they were doing instead, but it was like to grow grass or something. And Emily was saying that doTERRA is paying them to keep the trees, to preserve the natural habitat. And so, and then what they do is they only cut down 2 trees for every, I think, 20 years, and they're paying them to wait to do it. And when they do that, it actually allows for new growth that is even better for the air and for our environment and everything. So really interesting essential oil. Oh yeah, that's just a picture of the semi-solid. Yeah. So that's its PV amount and wholesale amount when it's released. We're excited about that. This is a quote that I thought was really cool. Mint doth greatly comfort the brain and spirits, stir up the senses, especially the memory, and make the heart cheerful. That spelling is because it's a quote from the 17th century. So that's why we've got that there. Peppermint has been super popular for a really long time. And in fact, I had a statistic written down here somewhere. Oh, in 2021, over 6 million bottles of peppermint or spearmint products were sold or were purchased through doTERRA. So it's obviously really, really popular. So that inspired Supermint. Supermint is a blend of 4 different mints that have come together. And we are so lucky to have it in not just the essential oil blend itself, but we get it in a touch. So we've got a touch roller. And then we also have beadlets. And I don't know if you guys have had a chance to try them, but they are yummy. I really like them. I mean, I've always liked the peppermint beadlets, but there's something about Supermint that has it's just yummy. So here's just a quick screenshot of the different oils in it that are blended together: peppermint, bergamot mint, Japanese mint, and then spearmint. And that's just a snapshot of the chemical profile. Not going to go into depth about that. There was a mention of Emily kind of landed for a second and talked about menthol. And I thought that this was a really interesting point that you guys would like. I didn't know this, but menthol, well, I assumed that menthol is a synthetic industry, but $30 billion global industry for synthetic menthol around the world, which is crazy when you think about that. doTERRA doesn't do that. We're all about pursuing what's pure, right? And so yeah, this particular essential oil blend helps 16,000 small scale farmers and their families. It's supported in an area in India that has extreme poverty. In fact, has one of the highest rates of poverty in all of India. So it's really incredible that we're able to help this area by partnering with them for this blend. Quick snapshot of the essential oil blend, the roller, and the beadlets, and what that is. The wholesale cost and PV are on par, so that's always fun when that happens. All the same reasons that we all love all the other mints is why we would love Supermint. One thing that I thought was interesting is that Dr. Nicole Stevens kind of landed for a minute on the power of blending and how it can actually enhance and actually give you greater benefits than you would if you had a singular oil. And so I think that's something interesting to take a deeper dive into if you want to know more about that. Oh yeah, this is a little bit more about the farmers. I just think this is so cool. All right, and then next we have, its nickname is Salvation Plant. Well, we probably already have a lot of people. I was going to say, does anybody want to guess that wasn't at convention what this is? But I think you guys probably already know. So this is sage. It's Spanish sage. I didn't know this, but there are actually over 1,000 species of sage around the world, which is really interesting. But this one is specifically is Spanish sage. And anytime you think about sage, we think about, when you think about saging yourself, or people will do a sage burn, right? It's to cleanse the environment, or to heal the environment. And all of those same things apply with this essential oil. It's been used for thousands of years in so many different cultures around the world, and clearing negative energy, and bringing in uplifting feelings. It smells kind of like lavender and sage had a baby, is what Emily said. I liked that for this one. It's great for meditation, or doing homework. And something that you could add to it just to give it some more oomph is blending it with frankincense, or peppermint, or both. This oil has been researched for its ability to support memory and alertness. So when you think about the aging population, that demographic, or students, it's really great for both. It can be used topically, great for head tension, massage, taking it in the shower, dropping it. I have a collection of oils in my shower that I just drop on the floor for a little aromatherapy while I'm taking a shower. Or you can add it to your shampoo, let it sit in your scalp. It's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful smell. And it's 29 wholesale and 29 PB. All right. And then the next one we have, oops, sorry. So we did talk a lot, or we heard a lot at convention again about combining or blending species. And that brings us to this next one, which is a new eucalyptus. So this eucalyptus actually has 5 different species. They're from Rwanda, South Africa, and Australia. You're probably really familiar with Eucalyptus globulus. That's the one that's in On Guard. But on top of that, we have Loxless, Kochi, Polybractea, and then radiata, however you want to pronounce that. So, so again, back to Dr. Nicole Stevens, she talked about how beneficial it is to take different species and blending them together. And they do this very consciously with lots of study and lots of research. So it's not just like some random thing, right? And what it does is it allows for more stability and consistency in the chemical profile that we get at the end of the day. So, and this isn't the first time we've done this. You've seen this with frankincense. We've got 4 species in our frankincense. We've got 4 species in our copaiba, cypress. So it's really, really great that we're able to get a quality and consistent essential oil blend, which is really, really cool. Again, sorry, I can't talk. It's sourced sustainably. Alliteration. It's sourced sustainably and reliably. So what's great about it is that it removes dependency on one particular species, which is our radiata. And so it's great that we have this blend. And then of course, growing diversity in our partnerships with our growers, which is always such a great feeling to be able to help more communities around the world. All right, and next we have jasmine. Jasmine is something that it's not new, right? Like we have our jasmine absolute, it's our jasmine touch. And I don't know if you know the difference between absolute and essential oil. I'll try not to, let me see, how can I describe it? I think an absolute is when you kind of have, it's kind of like a flower essence where you kind of have the water from it, but the essential oil to be able to actually just extract the essential oil from jasmine has not been possible for over 600 years. It hasn't been done. And some of that has to do, well, it all has to do with the distillation process. It's kind of like our rose too, where things can kind of get gummed up a little bit when they go to do the distillation. And so doTERRA has been working with this partner in Egypt, and we got to hear a little bit from him at convention, which was really cool. And he talked about how they have made this breakthrough discovery in how to actually steam distill jasmine, and it smells incredible. It's really, it's divine. I don't know how else to describe it. So now we have the absolute and the essential oil. The essential oil, you'll notice it's the smallest bottle that I've ever seen. Well, except maybe a sample bottle, but 2.5 mil. It's really cute. So yes, it's a little pricier and the PV isn't on par, but I think it's worth it. And I wanted to put this one in here too. Gardenia Touch was only available for people who were at convention in person, and it smells amazing. I hope that you get to smell it. If you weren't there in person, I hope that you can track someone down and maybe have a little sample or just at least smell it. But also, it's a really good reason to come to convention next year. Come in person, because one of the things that I love about being there is when you get your convention kit, there's always a surprise oil in there, and it's always been something that you can't just get, that's not available for everybody. So I think that's a really cool perk for being there in person. All right, and then Hope Touch. Hope Touch is not a new essential oil for us. It's been around for a while, but this has been revamped, and I don't know about you guys, but I love what they did. It smells more earthy to me, and I love it. I actually don't have it with me because it's in my purse. I've been packing it around and using it every day. But something else that's really cool about it, besides being full PV, which is a new thing actually, for it to be full PV and full dollar amount, doTERRA is donating $10 of every bottle purchased to the Hope Action Plan, and that's specifically working towards ending human trafficking. So it's really cool to directly be part of that. So that's Hope Touch. This is another one that I thought was really cool. Believe it or not, in case this one surprised you, in my Facebook group, some people were like, wait a second, we already had two hair care lines, and what's the deal with this? Well, this has actually been requested for a very long time. We all probably have maybe just slightly varying priorities when it comes to sustainability, although I think we're mostly on the same page. But this one I think is really cool for that sustainability reason. I tried it and I love it. My hair feels really soft, and I love the smell of that combination of rosemary and mint. But what's really cool about the bar is that it replaces up to 2 8.5-ounce plastic bottles. So you think about, that waste, we're not dealing with that waste anymore, right? And it's packaged with bio-based and recycled materials. It saves 13.6 fluid ounces of water when you think about the actual, bottle and everything. Sulfate-free, paraben-free, phthalate-free, for all hair types. It's very environmentally conscious, and I'm really excited about it. So yeah, we already talked about this. Yeah, free of synthetic fragrances or dyes, of course, right? And really great packaging and all of that, and good for your hair. So here are the price points in PV for those two. Yeah, I love mine. So for those of you who have been familiar or in the doTERRA family for a while, you probably are in love with On Guard, like I would say it's safe to say all of us here probably. I don't know why the laundry detergent isn't pictured here because I love that and I also love the cleaner. But anyway, we love On Guard. That goes without saying. This was highly requested was the On Guard hand sanitizing gel. And for those of you who were at convention last year, you probably saw that in the product showcase, they actually had On Guard hand sanitizing gel for us to try. So that was a little sneak peek, and we're really excited about that. Okay, so so that's kind of like the sneak peek of all of that stuff. Now, oh, sorry, price point, PV, 90 kills 99.9% of germs. It has ethyl alcohol, which is green alcohol, 70% plant derived. It's not sticky. And of course, it's free of parabens and all of the gross stuff that your standard hand sanitizer has. Okay, so that brings us to MetaPower. This is such an exciting system, and I am still learning a lot about this. I just barely started last week, and I'll share with you a little bit later about what I think so far. But I thought I would just start off by sharing a video with you, and I hope that it plays okay. We'll see. We're going to find out.
Today is the day that everything changes. Look at you. You're so young, vibrant, and full of energy. So much more life ahead of you, and yet already so wise. I wonder, did you know that? What I know now? That when you made this choice, it would set us on a course for a truly rich and powerful life. You wanted an edge, a little extra flexibility, faster recovering from those spontaneous adventures, feeling good, clear mind, and abundant energy to embrace everything you set your sights on. Yes, including him. Your commitment to wellness gave me the hope I have today. Motherhood changes your world. Some days things may feel a little upside down. Oof, the juggle is so real. But mostly, you hold it all together with ease and grace, keeping up with the kids, rushing it at work. Every room you walk into feels more alive. And because of her, you have a new reason to recommit to yourself. Your healthy habits become the legacy you hand down. In all the years to come, you're still full of energy. You still have an edge. Yes, your body changes, but mostly in ways that you love. You still go on spontaneous adventures. You can still keep up with the kids. And you still embrace everything life has to offer. Because of this day and your commitment to everyday since, to move with intention, to eat well, to laugh often, to stay centered, to teach by example, to reach for every advantage. Every day you made a commitment to me, your future self. So I just want to say thank you for the choice you make today to live your most powerful life.
Okay, let me see if I can figure out how to keep going here. So pretty cool, right, you guys? I don't know about you, but I watched this in convention. I was really moved by it. You know, you watch the young girl, and then you watch the older version, and I saw myself, even though I'm not blonde, I saw myself in her, and I was just thinking, I want to look that good when I'm, the older version. And yeah, life has been kind of going by quickly, or at least it feels that way in our house. And I have been pondering a lot, about long-term goals and what we want for ourselves. So this was really timely for us and for our house. I don't know about you guys, but the last couple of years, since COVID came, it's really turned, I think it's turned everybody's lives upside down. Like, let's just be honest, right? And I think we're all trying to find kind of a new normal, whatever that is. And I don't know about you, but I've gotten squishy. I've kind of put on some pounds. It's funny because the first year I was doing great. I was just like white knuckling my way through it. And then it started to get, I wouldn't say white knuckling my way. That was probably more 2021. And then now it's just kind of caught up with me. And I just feel like all of this has just been so timely for me on a personal level. And I'm really excited about it. So let's just kind of go over a few things about MetaPower. MetaPower, I don't have a slide for it, but the power, spelled PWR, stands for Personal Wellness Realized. And the meta is our metabolic health. So whenever we're talking about, metabolic health, it really controls everything. It's the heartbeat of everything. When we're talking about our thyroid, we're talking about our healthy glucose and blood sugar and all of that. And really there's a direct link between that and our aging, our biological age. If you follow people who are in health and wellness on social media or wherever your resources are, I'm sure you have heard a lot about metabolic health and biological aging over the last few years, but especially the last couple of years, I think, as we're all kind of trying to pull ourselves out of this crazy COVID funk. So this is a really great thought. What's a question to ask yourself? What's preventing you from living your most powerful life? All of these areas of health are important for us to consider on a regular basis. Our energy, our weight, our mood, our sleep, our mental, emotional clarity, and of course, stress. And yeah, I've been concerned about all of these things lately. So this is probably familiar to all of you, I assume, if you've been to an essential oil class before. We talk a lot about the wellness platform or wellness pyramid. And that's because it's really our lifestyle choices that are at the foundation of our health and directly linked to that. And I love that doTERRA has answers for all of them. And it's a beautiful complement to probably all of the stuff that we're all doing. So metabolic health, what is it? Let's talk about the 5 pillars. We have healthy eating. We have daily movement. We have healthy connections with people. I know this one has really hit us hard, right, in the last couple of years. Stress management and smart supplementation. All of these directly impact our metabolic health. This is an alarming statistic. Only 6.8% of the US adult population have optimal cardiometabolic health. That's alarming. That's really scary. We don't live in a for being such a blessed society. We really struggle, obviously. Yeah. So metabolic health and biological age are inseparable. We heard lots of people speak to this, Dr. Osgathorpe in particular. I think I have, let me just double check. Oh yeah, I have a short little clip that I want you guys to watch because I think you'll really appreciate this one. Let me see if I can make it work.
Hi, I'm Dr. Russell Osgathorpe, and I'm so thrilled to talk with you about health span. Just to be clear, health span is not the same thing as lifespan. Lifespan is the number of years we live, whereas health span is the number of years we live healthy. Now, I know that many of you have seen this graph several times, but it is so important to our understanding of the MetaPower system that I'm going to go into greater detail than we ever have before. Because if you understand this graph, you'll take MetaPower the rest of your life and be able to share it more effectively with others. If we consider our lifespan, the number of years we are alive, on the horizontal axis here, and our health span, the quality of our cognitive and physical performance on the vertical axis here, we can draw a curve that represents what naturally happens to our health span as we age, shown here in gray. However, the reality is we live in an incredible time where medicine and science can extend our lives. This dark blue line represents what happens when we use the best of medicine to try and manage issues related to a poor lifestyle. As these interventions improve our numbers, like blood sugar, blood pressure, and lipids, we can gain a modest amount of health span and lifespan. But what is staggering to me is how little benefit is derived from decades of this type of management. Look how close that blue line is to the gray line. It's incredibly minimal. As we near the end of our life on the blue line, you can see how through heroic use of life-extending medical technology, we can extend an individual's lifespan by a few years. But look at the quality of life that person is experiencing. Our lives might be extended by these heroic medical efforts, but one could argue that they are not enriched. Finally, let's look at the orange line. This is more typical for master athletes and people stacking healthy lifestyle habits consistently throughout their lives. What is most impressive about this group of people is that health span and lifespan can both be significantly improved. People who optimize their metabolism through daily exercise, diet, relationships, stress management, and of course, smart supplementation can not only potentially live longer, but add life to those years. Here's my dream, my why for my health span. Well into my 90s, I want to be able to spend a day, many days, out fly fishing with my posterity. I'd be able on any of those days to back my truck down the ramp, unload my drift boat, launch that boat, and then row that boat myself all day long. Watch my kids and posterity catch boatloads of fish. And then at the end of my life, I'd go home from a day of fishing, enjoy dinner with my family, and peacefully pass away in my sleep. That would be a health span that matches or equals my lifespan. Let me show you how that works. Let's assume that here on the vertical axis, we have 100% quality of cognitive and physical health during young adulthood. Now let's draw a line across this chart at 50% function. This is the stage of physical and cognitive health span where we are still capable of caring for ourselves, still living independently. We might not be running a 10-minute mile anymore, but we are probably able to walk a brisk 15-minute mile without difficulty with our kids or grandkids. Said differently, above this line, you can still do the things you want to do, although you might notice slight declines in your performance as you age closer to that 50% line. Below this line, living independently becomes more difficult due to cognitive decline or having enough physical strength and stamina to perform our daily activities. Now, if we continue that line at 50% function across the chart, look at where it intersects the blue line versus the orange line. This is what you need to understand. Look at what you can gain when you optimize your metabolism. Look at those years, but more importantly, look at the life that is added to those years. Currently, in North America, toward the end of our lifespan, we spend about 8 years, sometimes as many as 15 years, dealing with challenges that take away our quality of life and lower our health span. We can't always have a health span that lines up perfectly with lifespan, but we can certainly do better. Our lifestyle choices can extend our health span, full stop. When we combine a mindful and consistent approach to our diet, movement, stress management, relationships, and smart supplementation, we can maximize all the efforts we make in improving our lifestyle and then reap the benefits for all of our years to come. There are no magic paths to achieve this goal of prolonged health span. It will require serious effort by teams of caring and coordinated people. That is what we excel at. Have you helped people change their lives with doTERRA essential oils, MetaPower will now allow you to impact not only individual lives, but generations. Here's the even better news. It does not matter where you are on the curve or how old you are when you start. Any lasting efforts made by an individual to make improvements in their lifestyle will reap tremendous benefits for years to come.
All right, what'd you guys think about that? Do you guys like Dr. Osgathorpe? He's so nerdy and I really love him. So we
That's
probably
the
won't go
second time
into,
I've listened to that today, and I just can't get enough of it.
isn't he
It's
great?
Yeah, I'm a nurse, and it's really true. I take care of those people in the hospital that are, um, you know, suffering either, from just so many different ailments, and
Mhm.
they're young. I mean, in relation to, their age, they're just suffering from so many different things, and I feel like this is really a game changer. It really is.
Yeah, I'm so excited about that. Thank you for sharing that, Joanna. Yeah, it's same thing. Like when I watched that video of that the blonde lady going through her life, I think the same thing when I hear Dr. Osgathorpe talking about, his vision of, fishing with his grandkids or whoever, right? And it's I really want to have that quality of life. So yeah, it has me really excited. So so he already talked about this. I'm gonna probably like bypass some of this in case. So some of the nerdy stuff, the really deep dive, I'm just gonna say I encourage you all at the very end to download the ebook because I'm gonna give you links to everything. So if you feel like, oh my, this is really exciting, but also I'm not really catching what you're saying, do not stress. doTERRA also has a course that's free, and I'm going to give you that at the end too. So you guys can have all of this information and kind of go at your own pace as you digest some of this new stuff. But I'll just say really quickly. So you've seen NAD kind of thrown around a little bit. NAD stands for nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide. And what it is it's a coenzyme that's found in all living cells, and it's central to metabolism. And we just talked about how metabolism is directly linked to our biological age. So if that kind of helps a little bit, we're really talking about cellular health and function, and how this really impacts our age and our overall health, obviously. So some metabolic health obstacles: maturing fat cells, blood sugar spikes, cellular integrity, inferior supplements. These are some things from, and by the way, we have a new class just on MetaPower that we will take a deeper dive. Some of this I'm going to skim over, so don't stress about it. You're going to be able to look at this and read a lot of this at your own pace. But this is a really powerful question to ask yourself. What would it feel like for you to live your most powerful life? Not Dr. Osgathorpe, not me, not the blonde chick at the beginning, but think about what this means for you. What does it look like 10 years down the road, 20 years down the road, 40 years down the road? So I think that's really exciting. So let's just talk really quickly about MetaPower, just so you have an idea. Oops. Oh, well, okay, I guess I can touch on some of this stuff because I think, well, let's see, how much do we want to talk about? This really quickly is a balloon analogy. And what it's talking about here is how when you lose weight, you don't actually reduce the number of fat cells in your body. You just simply burn the fat that's stored within each cell, and it causes them to become smaller. So that's kind of interesting. And let's see. So the steps that you take to restrict fat cell growth are what makes the biggest difference to your body percentage, or your BMI. Fat cells grow when they retain droplets of fatty acids, usually because you're regularly consuming more food than needed, or your glucose spikes. And that's where MetaPower comes in and helps. So the Power system, it's at its foundation is this essential oil blend that used to be called Slim and Sassy. So for those of you who've been in doTERRA a while, I'm sure you're familiar with Slim and Sassy. So one of the first questions I got about this, well, what's the difference between Slim and Sassy and this? And the answer is that this Meta Power blend has the same essential oils. So it's the same 5. It's grapefruit, lemon, peppermint, ginger, and cinnamon bark, but they're in different ratios. And this has actually been extensively studied. So doTERRA performed some research using human fat cells and different versions of the Slim and Sassy blend. So meaning the same oils, but just different ratios, right? And they identified the blend that was the most effective. And this is what came about, was this new Meta Power blend. So as with everything else, whenever doTERRA makes changes, it's always for the better. This was a discussion that came up in my Facebook group this last week. And I had to clarify a few points that people didn't quite understand. They missed a few details. It's always for the better, which makes me so excited. For those of you, I just want to push pause for a second and ask you, for those of you who are familiar with Slim and Sassy, and you've tried Slim and Sassy, and now you've tried Meta Power, tell me what you think.
Hello, can you
Yeah,
hear me?
I can. Yep, I can. Hi, Bernadette.
Hi. Oh my goodness, it is so different. It's so very different. I have tried Slim and Sassy, and it kind of helped, but not with the Meta Power, products. I noticed a big difference, really big difference when I started using it. I started using it on the 16th while I was at conference or the convention. And man, I noticed a difference when I got home, the energy that I had. I mean, I went grocery shopping. I don't like grocery shopping, but I went grocery shopping and I was and I was able to do my shopping, to unload my car and put everything away without having to sit down and rest every a few minutes, because just the lack of energy and the pain that I have in my body. And I just was, when I realized, oh my goodness, I put all my food away, and it was just amazing. It was amazing.
Wow.
And another thing I noticed, which, okay, I passed kidney stones. I passed them twice this year. And
Wow.
I started passing, well, I didn't realize I was passing stones until there was some blood in my urine. I just kept going to the bathroom through the night. And finally, at one point, there was this blood in, the elimination and little clumps. And I realized, wow, I just passed a stone or 2 or more, I don't know. And the pain I did not have. I had
Oh.
like an achiness, but nothing what I usually get. I usually get a fever, my temperature rises. I get the flank pain, the nausea, there's other symptoms that I get. And as soon as the stones pass, everything disappears. But it was
Wow.
really, really different this time. And
Gosh.
I was impressed. I
That's
was really
amazing.
impressed.
That's amazing. Thank you for sharing that. That's really, really cool. Um, so one of the things that I noticed as far as the taste is concerned is I feel like Meta Power is just a little bit lighter than Slim and Sassy. Slim and Sassy felt a little bit heavy on maybe it was a little, it felt like it was a lot of peppermint. And I haven't, it's been a few minutes since I've looked at the comparison of the ratios side by side. So I can't remember offhand what it was, but all I know is I actually love this taste better. And I've been using it in my water every time I use my water. And I love it. I think that's so cool, Bernadette, what you were just sharing. That's just amazing. So
I will be having some, I have a couple of appointments with doctors, and they know about, I told them there's a new product, I'm going to be trying it. And so they're looking forward to the results of that. So I have at least 2, maybe 3 specialists that are waiting to see the results of that. So
That's
we'll,
so cool.
That is so cool.
Yeah, so cool. Okay, well, so the MetaPower blend, so there are 3 parts to MetaPower, okay? It's the essential oil blend, which contains everything that you see here. So it's the essential oil blend, the beadlets, the gum, and then the soft gels, which really have the essential oil blend in them, right? So that's one part of it. And then the other 2 parts is the MetaPower Assist and Advantage. So the blend itself, I just want to reiterate that this is the heart of it all. This is where it's come from. So we're still an essential oil company. In case you're like, whoa, what are we doing with this? We're still all about the oils, and this has been extensively studied. Okay, so that's where this all started. It inhibits fat cell maturation, it curbs cravings, and it really helps support your metabolic health. So you can read between the lines there, but this really helps with healthy blood sugar, which is known. Well, here I'll just keep it there. Really great for that, for obviously metabolism, but for thyroid and a lot of other body systems to help support. Let's see. Do we have time for this video? Let's play it because I think this is a good one. I'll try not to go too long, Kelly. Sorry.
I knew I wanted to come in and see if I could come off of sugar. And I wanted to stretch my fasting window a little bit because that's something I had been incorporating as part of my release of the old. And so I was really happy with that. But all of the other things that came with it were unexpected, delightful surprises. The first product I tried within the system was the actual oil blend, just adding it to my water. And I loved the flavor profile of it. It's light, has that perfect amount of mint and citrus, and it actually is now my preferred oil to add to water. I've been living a foundation of wellness for years. And I think because I have a good baseline in place, I'm actually able to really detect the impact that a change is having in my body. And I was able to see that I was, without effort, doing a lot more throughout the day. So when I see that, I see my metabolic health working at a new level in my body, really. I think one of my favorite results through integrating these products was being able to kick sugar, because I can see how that had a grip on me. So I am so happy to be free of that. And I actually, let's see, as of today, I haven't had sugar in over 2 months. So I'm thrilled, and I've completely lost my taste for it. So we're done. We've broken up.
I love that. That's really cute. So, oh, my computer is kind of slow. We'll see if this, oh, good, it's showing. Okay, so we're talking about metabolic health obstacles. The first one was maturing fat cells and blood sugar spikes. Actually, the essential oil blend helps with both of those. And now we're going to talk about MetaPower Assist. So I like this analogy. When our blood sugar spikes, you guys, it's really like putting your foot on the floor of the accelerator and slamming on the brakes. So obviously that's going to wear down your car. It's not good for your brakes or your tires or your seatbelt or the whole mechanics of the car, right? And that's really what's happening if we are having high spikes. And so we want to assist with that. And that's where MetaPower Assist comes in. So it actually, I don't have a slide for this, but in some of the breakouts that we listen to, the doTERRA talks. So for those of you who have the access to the virtual convention, I really encourage you to go and watch some of those or rewatch them, because you can actually see the graphs of the spikes and how it doesn't spike. Like you use the MetaPower Assist before you eat and you don't have a spike. It's really incredible. So yeah, it decreases post-meal glucose spikes. It reduces absorption of simple carbohydrates. It supports healthy blood sugar responses and stabilizes energy throughout your day. So this one, we'll talk about how to use it in just a second, but that one's really great. I'm just going to keep going here. I think
whenever I was first asked to try out MetaPower, I honestly was kind of wondering, how much would it actually be?
We'll listen to
right?
this. That's
so
good.
I was already eating healthy. I already regulate exercise. I'm young. and I'm on all of our oils, all of our supplements. I drink plenty of water. I kind of felt like I checked all of the boxes. And as I started using them by like day 2, I was like, oh, I can tell a difference with this. I have really worked with my blood sugar my entire life. I rarely had an appetite. I was just really never very hungry, and I didn't really feel like eating. And this really affected my energy and mood. I would just really feel like I hit this wall of fatigue. So since I started using the MetaPower products, the most life-changing aspect for me has been the stability of my blood sugar. This was, for me, a newfound freedom. I really noticed improved blood sugar stability on day 2 because I was hungry and I felt like eating, which was really rare for me, honestly. Having improved my appetite, I'm now able to eat more, which has given me even more energy, more stamina. Just the other day, I ran 6.5 miles, which is over double kind of the usual distance that I would do. And I didn't feel fatigued or hit that wall that I normally would have. It honestly felt like I was gliding. I felt stronger. And even at the end, I still felt energetic. I call this rocket fuel because of all the sustained energy and stamina that's given it.
So you'll notice one of the things that stood out to me in this short little clip was that for this guy, it actually gave him an appetite. So the question came up recently, and which was what about people who don't need to lose weight? Well, this isn't exactly weight loss. What it's doing, it's adaptive. Dr. Hill specifically said it's adaptive to be able to help your body do what it needs. And Ange Peters said that too. So I really like, I think his name is Orion, but I really like his story and how he talked about how it actually improved his appetite. And so that was really, really cool. So the third obstacle for metabolic health is cellular integrity. Feeling good from the inside out. We're just going to skip through some of this. So that's where this takes us to Advantage. So Advantage is collagen and NMN. Together, it helps to promote your healthy biological aging. It improves and health span. It improves cognitive function, supports lean muscle and connective tissue, improves skin elasticity and firmness. Let's see. I'm going to skip this one just because I think we're kind of running over time. Sorry, guys. You can go back and listen to it. But one of the things that really stood out to me about this as I started to research, because we've been like learning up on MetaPower for a while, but one of the things that I've been learning in the last few months is that everything that I had really learned about collagen was wrong. I had a huge tub of collagen that I thought was a good brand that I had gotten from Costco. Turns out it wasn't. It only had one type of collagen. doTERRA has 9. And they're more bioavailable. In other words, your body is going to absorb it and use it as it needs to. And the proof is trying it and feeling the difference. It's great. I'm just gonna take a quick second and just say, when I just barely started last week, you guys, and everybody has a bunch of stories to tell. I know the people who were in the test group, most of them, if not all of them, lost weight, which I think is cool. But for me, what I noticed right away is that on day 2 of doing the complete MetaPower, I was walking up the stairs and my knee didn't hurt. And you guys, I've been kind of nursing my knee for weeks now. Every time I go up the stairs, I kind of do this weird little shuffle, this little like kind of hop to get up to each stair because my knee's been bothering me, and it's not bothering me at all. It's really, I think you have to try it to know how it feels. Anyway, this is stuff that you can go back and look at. We're not gonna sit on it very long, but you can see that there's a large variety of collagen types, which I think is wonderful. And it's sustainably sourced from Italy, I believe. Cold water marine fish. These are some of the details in this, but I'm going to keep going because I am sorry, I've just been going a really long time. So this is the this is kind of a look at in the value of what it is in value, but this is the actual cost. So doTERRA is really giving us all of this at a steal when you look at the quality of what we've got going on here. So, oh, here's McKay. Okay, we have to watch this one. It's McKay. Here we go. One more video.
Here's what I think is really cool about these products. They will support every person in going to their next level.
Throughout life, we're all going to face different challenges and struggles. And for me, when I realized that when life was hard, when I was struggling, I would go to food to comfort me. And the difference for me that I've realized is that I'm not going to the chocolates. I'm not going to the pizza.
I found that when I do have those cravings, just chewing the gum or grabbing a couple of beadlets completely takes that away. And it's even gotten to a point where things that I normally would enjoy are almost too sweet for me now. It's like my body has just realized that we don't need that level of sugar intake.
Even if you don't know what changes you want to make within your health, these tools are going to help your body go there.
One of the things I've loved about this experience has been the quicker recovery after exercise. I've noticed after lifting or running that I recover much quicker, and I really felt a lot stronger in the gym. Exercise just feels easier and I feel ready for it. And I don't need as a long of a recovery time, so I'm able to go back a lot sooner.
With MetaPower, I have so much energy. I sleep so great. My body is listening and moving in ways that it hasn't in years.
I got the products during my trip that I take every summer out to see my family. We were staying up late playing night games with my family the night before at our family reunion and all of this stuff. And that whole next day on my drive home, I didn't have to stop and get any caffeine to help stay awake. Like I just felt this sustained energy throughout that whole day when normally that would have knocked me out.
I'm so much happier during the day because I feel rested. I feel like my brain is actually functioning the way it's supposed to, and I can think clearly.
My sugar cravings are down, and so I am enjoying food better, real good food. And I literally feel young. I can't even put an age on it. I just feel young.
So cool. So we're just going to highlight really quickly how the system works and how to use it. And again, don't stress if you're don't write anything down. All of this is available in digital, and we're going to give you that in just a second, okay? So step one, like I said before, or part one is the essential oil blend. And you want to be using this throughout the day. This can look like adding the MetaPower blend to your water every time you refill your water bottle, like Ange Peters was talking about. It's grabbing some of the gum if you're a gum chewer, and using the soft gels or the beadlets throughout the day. And that can be any time during the day that you want to, okay? The second part of it is the assist. And the assist is just one capsule. And this is what you're going to take with your largest meal of the day, whenever you eat that. For some people, it's dinner. For me, it's usually around 2 o'clock because I intermittent fast. So usually my biggest meal is around 1 or 2. So you do that, and you can play with it too, right? There's you can figure it out. And then the third step is the advantage, and you want to take one of these sachets a day, and you just add it into 5 to 8 ounces of water and stir it or shake it. I just stir it with a spoon, and it dissolves really quickly. The taste to me is really good. It's really refreshing. It reminds me, I don't know if you guys have ever tried Zip Fizz. My dad is a real fan of Zip Fizz. And for whatever reason, I always end up getting the grapefruit because it tastes the best to me. So whenever I'm at his house, I always dig into his stash. But it reminds me of that. It has a very refreshing, grapefruity taste to it. It's really good. So this is just a sample. And again, you guys, this is in the ebook. It's in the handouts. So don't worry about it. But this is just like a hypothetical day, just like I kind of described, of like what you could do to use them every day. All right. And this is going to be available starting October 1st in the post-convention tour kit. So you can add this to your LRP. And I'm really excited about this. Okay, what else? Let's just see really quickly. Oh, we're not going to go into this, but they did talk about this extensively at convention about how important it is to have your foundational health and take your LLV. This doesn't replace LLV, just to be clear. So that's really, really important. I'm going to skip some of this. So, okay, here we get to the tools. Okay, so the tools for your success in starting MetaPower. There's an ebook that doTERRA put together for us, a tracker, the PIPs, which stands for Product Information Pages. There's a course. And then, of course, you have team support. And then there's a challenge that doTERRA has. And I'm just going to not screen share for a second. Let me just, because I have to, I need to share this with you in the chat box really quick so you have the links. Because I put it all in a Google folder. Okay. So right here, dropping in the chat right now. And you can get this for those of you who are more familiar with the digital marketing kit or Canto, you can get that there too. So there it is. And then I'm also going to just put in here, this is the convention folder. I put resources for the convention. So in there, you'll see this here in the chat. One second. Okay. So, okay, let me just go back to screen share and we're just about done. Hold on one second, guys.
Amy, I was also going to say, we can also email this to you as well. So I'll put a link for you to register after Amy goes over what she's giving you.
Oh, okay, perfect. Yeah, this is just stuff I can't talk, directly from doTERRA. I just put it together in a Google folder so you could just grab it. But that's great. Yeah, so you'll get it in your inbox too. This is just a screenshot so you can see doTERRA has a course available for us. It's free. Their courses are just bite-sized. Each, if you look right here, 1 minute, 7 minutes, 5 minutes, 5 minutes. It's short, but it's going to go through all the stuff that you really want to know about this. And then that other link that I gave you, that other folder, is for resources for all the new releases from convention. So if you already have access to the virtual event, you can go back and I encourage you to go back and rewatch. There's also an ebook that doTERRA put together. That's in the Google folder I put together in there. They gave us a cheat sheet, so it's just like one double-sided page of all the new releases with a quick description. I put in there a link to, I have a friend, her name's Dr. Eve Rosno, and she takes awesome notes. And you can get her notes for like $10 or something, and it's totally worth it. And then of course we have in that, there's the 30-day challenge is a PDF that's also in that folder. Oh, sorry, that was for MetaPower. Sorry, this right here, social media resources. This would be our communities, all of our collective communities and doTERRA. One of the things that I like to do right after convention is really keep an eye on doTERRA's YouTube channel, because then that's when they start to release all the really awesome videos that they share at convention. And those are great, just a really great way to catch up and rewatch some of this stuff. So this is a quick snapshot. Again, this post-convention tour event kit is available October 1st. As all these items individually, not until November 1st for MetaPower, and then Supermint in January and Spanish Sage in March individually. And just really quick shout out to post-convention tour events. You can go to this link, or you can just Google search it too. But these events are happening throughout, not just throughout the US, but Canada too. And if you're near any of these areas, I really encourage you to go in person. It's a great experience. And the last thing, I saw this quote and this really resonated with me. The trees are about to show us how lovely it is to let the dead things go. So that kind of hit home for me. I'm like, I'm ready for a change. And yeah, I've only been using the MetaPower for a few days, and I feel great, and I'm so happy about it and excited to see what changes happen.
Amy, I have a question.
Yeah.
Maybe if you don't know, maybe Kelly might know. These, I don't know if you could see that. This is the cap. Can you see that?
Yeah.
It's okay. This was actually in one of the kits. I'm not sure which one it was.
Okay.
If you get like the monthly, it was in one.
Oh,
But
okay.
it would be nice if this would be available because
Oh,
I have like, that's my LLV. And then I have in here, I have the assist and I have a gum in there. There's, I could put actually 2 gums in there. But this is what's really cool is that this fits right here perfectly.
oh yeah. That's so cool.
So I don't know, if it would be nice to have this available. I don't
Yeah.
know.
If you
I
go
would-
to the convention swag store, there's a store where you can buy all the extra stuff that they have available just around convention time. And in there they have a box and you can do like 9 or 10 different compartments for your different supplements. And I have 2 of those with all of doTERRA's supplements in them that our family uses all the time. We just pull them out of our pantry every day and grab our pills and take them. So you might consider looking at that.
Yeah. This is like perfect
Yeah,
size.
yeah.
I just throw it in I load it
Yeah.
up, throw it in my purse.
That's
So
great.
I have access to everything that I need when I'm out and about.
Yeah, that's so
Just
awesome.
wondering.
Yeah. There's another one that they released too that looked kind of like a little mini jar and it had like little compartments for supplements too. Yeah, they have lots of different kinds that they release on a regular basis. So, oh yeah, you're welcome,
Thank you.
Pam. Thanks for, yeah, thanks you guys. I didn't mean to go so long, but obviously it's really exciting. It's hard to shut up about it because it's really exciting.
And Amy, I just wanted to point out, so I dropped in a link, sign up for the EO Movement Meta Power Challenge. We're going to start that on October 15th, I believe. And so I copied everything that Amy put in the thing in the chat box. So if you just click on that link and sign up, we'll get you all the details and then we'll have a lot of fun together using Meta Power. So hope that makes sense. But thank you, Amy, so much for teaching. She put a lot of work into that. Wasn't that fabulous? And can't wait to see and hear about your results. Bye, everybody. We'll talk again soon.